do is just come right around the corner. Ah!
I thought I heard Caleb say something for a second, but no, it's just the rain.
Yeah, exactly. Just the rain. Yeah. All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4, Episode 38. The penultimate episode of Part 4.
We have a chase,
Mm-hmm.
the slowest chase ever going on.
Yeah.
We had an air bubble versus...
versus immobility.
Yes. So now we have Kira in a catch-22 situation where Hayato is getting away with Josuke, but he can't go that close because Crazy Diamond is actually really good.
Because he doesn't need to worry about Star Platinum here because, in Morio, the rain is very loud. Inside each raindrop is actually a little mini speaker that just
Killer Queen has already touched this
noise.
Rain cloud. So all those are actually little bombs going off, and they create a lot of noise. Only for stand users, though. That's why everyone else is okay.
Exactly, and that's why. And because they're explosions, they blend everything together, so Jotaro doesn't hear the other bigger explosions that are happening 50 feet away.
In fact, that's probably why he's yelling so much, is because in order for anyone to actually be able to hear him, he needs to, bring his voice up that loud.
Indeed.
It makes perfect sense. It's all relative, absolutely.
Yes,
and now that we've roasted that enough, let's move on with the actual plot here. We have there two separate parties of our heroes, with Koichi, Jotaro, and Rohan being separated. Then we have Hayato, Okuyasu, who might be dead, and Josuke trying to take refuge in an adjoining house or mansion or what have you. And Kira and Killer Queen just kind of in an awkward situation in the middle.
Right.
Where, Bites the Dust has been deactivated. But activating it here wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. In fact, that would be really bad. So, if anything, he needs to find a way to...
He needs to take out Josuke.
He needs to take out basically this whole group almost, really.
Right.
Then reactivate it, reset things so that this is locked in as the way things are going to go.
Sure.
Leave and just let it play out, and then they'll all die. Then deactivate it and just move on. Or I guess he wouldn't need to if, since there isn't really anything out there that could, reverse time. I mean... Well, we don't
stuff. It gets complicated. But the thing is,
we still don't know what Crazy Diamond's full capacities are, and it's a very interesting thing that in Part 3 we had the stand that was really fast actually be one that was actually stopping time, and we've got one that can revert matter to previous states, potentially be one that could reverse the flow of time in a very specific, maybe limited manner for certain objects. Who's knows?
To say?
Who knows?
But before that happens, because Kira doesn't want to figure out if any of that could be possible, because Crazy Diamond counters Killer Queen enough as it is, so he needs to kill him, and Josuke is weighed down because he's not leaving Okuyasu behind, so...
Gotta fight. Gotta fight, y'all. So without further ado, let's get into this. This music.
Wait, the rain stopped. We have hope. Oh boy. I love that he's bowing while he's on the phone.
Yep. Wow. Oh, he's
like,
so
you
pissed.
Made me grovel to another person.
Josuke が家の中に入ったのは屋内のような接近
戦
の方が有利との考えもあってのこと。実際確かにそれは認めるよ。人んちの人って何やってんの？なんだよ。敷地には入ってねえってのかい。言葉地に捕まえないでよな。よく下着が盗まれるって言ってたんだ。この時間みんな出かけるからな。羨ましいな。暇そうで。やっぱり下着泥棒だ。このパンティは。
No, these panties. Oh Of course he is. Of course he is.
But Killer Queen has already touched those panties.
Yes. 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 Please. Yes. I don't know why. I got excited about that, but like, oh my god. I've missed ridiculous JoJo's. Like,
right. Well,
down.
and the whole thing of like, it's
down,
another way of
down.
showing that Kira is losing it because he's killing people that in excessive ways, you know?
Finding
Justice made by a day.
Wait.
Brand new. Yeah, this is different.
This is different, yeah. We're actually moving forward. Oh, because Bites the Dust
has been
is...
stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we have extra sound effects in the,
Gokoroni,
Naoke komu kage Erasu ogo no spirit Sore wa mamori nuku hikari.
Oh, yeah.
Self-love, take you higher. Toki sae koete 1999 bizarre summer. Yuki de Karumachi. Great days.
No. Okay.
That is some time-sounding manipulation noises.
That's how you check.
He is dead. Oh, crap. Oh. Yeah, this is a weird room. Why is it
I mean,
so
theoretically,
empty?
you could have Hayato sneak out and run.
There's some kind of wind. There's a breeze coming from... What?
Oh! Uh-oh!
What? What? Oh, nice.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, it pushes away the... Oh, it's following him.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's very terrifying.
But, like, he can't control the stand user that's creating the air bubbles, so...
Right. Nice, yeah. Mirrors, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Hayato. Okay.
Well, like, Josuke can outrun it, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, right?
Blood. Wait. Oh, okay. What are you gonna pull, Josuke? Let's do this. Fired his own projectile. Whoa! Oh! So he bought that he would take the hit so that he would let out some celebratory, like, you know, elation or what have you, but not pay attention to his own defenses. Yeah, he used something. Jeez.
Man.
What was the plan with that beyond just going for the one-hit kill from... Oh. Closer to Kira.
So he can put the blood back into himself?
Oh, it's gonna come back like a boomerang!
Wow.
Oh my gosh! What?
No way.
What? And you need to line it up. Oh,
wow.
I got him!
Okay.
Oh!
All right.
Oh!
That is crazy. Well,
I mean, we've seen him do that kind of stuff before, though.
Well, yeah.
But just not with his own blood.
And crazy diamond.
Oh. And it's in.
Right.
Oh, this one's going in quickly. He's pissed. Whoa! This might blow up the house. No, but he intentionally fired it far.
No, he fired it past him to repair to the glass that's inside him.
Yep, yep. Oh my god. Oh. It's his dad. It's his dad.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
No way.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yeah. That's right. We hadn't dealt with him.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa. What?
Wow. That's terrifying.
What? Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Oh, now.
Huh. The rain's really acting up today.
Yeah. Yeah! Oh, he got him! He got him! Yeah! Woo! Oh.
In some cases, he could be the most dangerous right now because he has nothing left to lose, really.
Yeah. Oh, he's backed into a corner.
Because now this is war, basically.
Yeah.
Like he's fighting for survival.
Yep. Oh, look at that pose! Oh, that pose! Oh my god, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Those poses! Those poses! And Hayato's just like, oh my god!
Just like those old westerns, you know, the quick draws.
Right. Who has the fastest stand draw in Morio?
Mm-hmm.
Plot twist, it's Jotaro.
It's a miracle you can even stand right now.
You may have a stand, but right now you can't even stand.
Another one will bite the dust today.
Oh. Crazy Diamond is unbreakable.
Yep.
Yeah, it is! It's the fastest draw!
Yep. The color scheme and everything. And then it's gonna end the episode.
Whoa! This is so good! This is so good! Yeah. The cat plant, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow! Saved again. Kira is so lucky.
Watch. You know what would be hilarious? Is if Jotaro uses Star Platinum to stop time and switches their position so it hits Kira. Probably not going to happen.
No, this is going to be hilarious. This is going to be Josuke. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Yeah!
Okuyasu!
Yeah!
Okuyasu! What?
So someone else's stand changed direction, and he.
Oh! Oh!
Wait, he sent it the wrong way though. He sent it towards himself.
Yeah, I've wondered too. And it's just gone. Who knows where it went? I'm just following you, big bro. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why'd you have to scare me like that?
Yeah. And then the other three show up behind him.
Oh! 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 No, 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 no.
They still don't.
No, they see what's going on, but they don't know who that is.
Right, right.
He's like, even Hayato.
Yeah, yeah.
Even Hayato's face.
Yep.
Oh my God! Suddenly, he's in the middle.
Yeah.
Of everything. The spirit of justice.
That's right
here.
Hayato.
Hayato's spitting it. You're nothing.
You're nothing. You're nobody. Hayato uses vicious mockery. It looks like Kira failed his wisdom save.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okuyasu is alive.
Yep.
And he was having an out-of-body experience because he was near death. And Josuke did heal him.
Right.
Because he was alive at that point.
Yep.
But, oh man. I just realized that was the alien guy moving along the upside down if you saw him up there, yeah.
Wow.
But
come stand a little bit closer, breathe in and get a bit higher. You'll never know what hit you when I get to you. Ooh, I want you, I don't know if I need you, but ooh, I die to find out. Ooh, I want you, I don't know if I need you, but ooh, I would die to find out. Watch the entire next episode. It's just going to be a one long Dora. All right.
Oh my God!
I believe this is what you would call basically over. like
I mean, yeah.
Kira's done.
Kira is so
Kira
done.
is done.
It's basically, this is the part where the DM looks at all the players and just goes, so, how do you want to do this?
Yep.
And they get to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm half expecting Echoes to be like, all right, let's kill the whole bitch, and then just like crushes him, makes him kneel, and then Okuyasu and Josuke just kind of walk up and be like, ho ho, just make some kind of dramatic one-line or what have you, and then Hayato just comes up and goes, this is for my mom.
And he pulls out a Glock and shoots him in the face.
I mean, I wasn't thinking of something so dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think basically he would just do something like really demeaning to him and then just walk away. It's like, I don't need to see this. And then you just hear this in the background, like when we cut to him and he's like all the way back at his house, like at the front door, but you could hear it from like across town.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, he wouldn't hear it. He's not a stand user.
Plus, but there's no rain.
That's how they could end. That's how they could end part 4. Hayato becomes a stand user. It was fate all along.
What if Rohan got up to him and was like, and writes in him and basically says,
Rohan writes,
I will not have a stand, again, or something like that, like what if they did something to basically completely strip him?
I will never use Killer Queen again, kind of thing.
Right. I will never use a stand again.
That would be,
and then they just
like he forgets get him arrested. Even all knowledge of his stand or what have you. So then he ends up just having his fingernails grow long one day, and he pervs on a girl, and then just gets thrown in jail.
Well, or they just throw him in jail for the stuff that they have now
that too.
That he's done.
But I don't think they could prove that it was him necessarily.
I mean, he's tried to kill them, so that's that.
True. That's true. Yeah. But holy crap. Okay, so let's go through this. We have the house, and we've got the murderer in the house, but they're outside the house. They're using some kind of means of scouting them. Then we find out that it's Killer Queen's dad, who has been hiding with a cell phone inside Hayato's pocket, which it's like, okay, sure. Yeah. He's got his own extra dimensional space in that picture. We shouldn't be able to hear him if Jotaro can't hear, Josuke yelling over the sound of rain. So makes sense. No. But then they have to figure out a way to, utilize attacks against each other. So Josuke uses his dried up blood to home in with
which
an
is
attack.
Great. Like, that's fantastic. It gets at some of the things that we've wondered about the limitations of Crazy Diamond, because
and how it interacts with him.
Exactly. How it interacts with him and how it interacts with other things too. Because theoretically you could, if you had something that was constructed, right, could you break it up so that it goes into its constituent parts, like completely, like he did something like that with the what was it, the tires? It
was also the food. Remember, he punched the food and changed it into its individual components.
Right. Which is kind of ridiculous. But here we go. Get the first piece of glass in him, and then use the second piece of glass so that it'll home in on the second one, because that's what's crazy. Yeah, it's not just that he can repair stuff, but that he can selectively repair stuff.
Yeah, and he can chain attacks onto things that were broken.
Right.
And residing in whatever they left off there. So if he hits with the first thing even remotely close. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of DMs in D&D will have this kind of universal annoyance things where characters in their thing will get worried about traps all of a sudden, and then they won't touch anything. They just won't touch or interact with anything. When you're in the JoJo's verse with stands and all that, it makes sense that if you're in a battle alert sense, you wouldn't touch anything. Because in this world, anything could have been touched by Killer Queen,
Yep, absolutely.
Anything could have been interacted with by, Crazy Diamond's, eventually like shattered pieces of something there. Yep. So I love how much caution both characters show here, because they respect the other person's ability to do serious, like lethal damage.
Yep.
And it's fun to have that coming from the villain, because what Dio represented in part 3 was kind of the, ho, you're approaching me. I am a god. I cannot be defeated. Yeah. When clearly he could be.
Well, and granted, that was only because Star Platinum cheesed out the time stopping.
Right. But still, now we have an ability that is in some ways even crazier than the world, but it's so hyper specific that in some ways Crazy Diamond is actually really scary for Kira.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Like,
yeah.
He's like, I'm going to just stay at range
right.
and just casually just slowly send in air bombs until you die.
And one of the things that I loved about this is that you'd think, okay, close quarters, right, Josuke will have the advantage. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, he can make air bombs explode. This house isn't vacuum sealed, right?
Right.
Now the whole thing of, like, him, I guess, basically telling the plant to change the direction, and the plant is obeying his instructions for how to kill Josuke doesn't quite make sense.
Well, no, because I think once he turns it into a bomb, he has control over it. And that's I think the gist of it. I'd say that's the gist of it.
But if that were the case, then he could move other things that he had turned into bombs and stuff, and I don't think we've ever seen him do that before.
Well, what was sheer heart attack?
Sheer heart attack was a specific part of Killer Queen that was detached.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't a bomb be that as well? It's just basically invisible?
I don't think so, because otherwise he wouldn't need sheer heart attack, probably.
Well, no,
right?
I think the thing about sheer heart attack is that you can't stop it. With these bubbles, you could stop them.
Sure, but then even
you
with
just run the risk of it exploding and doing its own damage.
But even then, with sheer heart attack, Kira didn't have direct control over sheer heart attack.
No, but he could have. He could have if he was closer, probably.
Maybe. Okay. I feel like it's something where I totally understand the idea that the plant would have had control over the air bubbles, right? But, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're getting into too hyper-specific details on this here.
Maybe it could just be one of those other things like the rain, where it's like, okay, it's just something that happens and, don't read into it too much.
Or you don't understand it necessarily as well. Like
sure, yes, that is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, because I don't know how, it works other than I'm just trying to
there
find
could be
an
something that they haven't explained that is a reason why it works.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't know how it works.
I'm just
trying to find an explanation as to why it works rather than find an explanation why it doesn't work.
I'm not shitting on the fight.
I'm
just making mention of this thing where it's like, kind of like Dio not using his eye lasers, where it's like, okay, yeah, but the fight itself was fantastic. It was intense. They used strategy in their stands very effectively. Because again, you don't go into the house where Josuke is, right? Because he has advantage in range. So do something else, right? Snipe him from far away. Have your two-dimensional dad slip into, with his different space and whatnot, just go into a pocket and just give you instructions of, okay, they're over here, and Josuke using that to defeat the dad was poetic and hilarious. It was great.
And I think we've seen Josuke mimic voices before.
I'm not sure.
I seem to remember him doing something like that. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But just the fact that that's how limited Kira was in this situation, that he had to rely on that in order to actually be able to do anything.
Yep.
Whereas he wasn't going to do the other idea of just blow up everything in the house until Josuke comes back outside the house, because I think he was panicking for time.
And even then, Josuke probably would have just repaired the house if he'd started to explode it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we end up in a freaky situation where we think that there's too much damage being done to Josuke, but he ends up using his attacks to redirect and home things back at Kira, which ends up working out really well. Then we end up in a situation where we end up actually having to pull Josuke ends up having to come outside up in the middle here.
Well, yeah, because otherwise it would have ended up going badly eventually.
So when he ends up pulling him towards there, he ends up hitting him with the next one. Then he figures out that,
the cell phone, all that, they take care of the dad.
Blows it up, but then he taunts him just oh, yeah. My directions sent him straight to hell. Then again, he was just a ghost, so I guess you could say he crossed over. It's just oh. And I love how much Kira gets internal monologue focus. Because thinking back to Dio, he actually just spoke out the things he was thinking.
Oh.
Because he was in a frozen time stopped environment, so effectively he's such a dramatic character, he would
that.
do
Of course,
that.
he'd talk to himself because he likes the sound of his own voice.
Right, but this guy is like a nervous, like, psychopath, So he actually has a difference of where the things he's thinking are very different than the things he says.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Out loud. Like when he's kissing up to his boss.
Oh yeah, that part was great. Yeah.
Like, oh yes, yes. I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again, sir. Of course. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that was fantastic, and like seeing just how much he hates that he has to do this. Yeah. And the random neighbor,
the random nice guy.
Oh
like,
God.
Just what is he? What is he? Says like, yeah, Mr. Nice Guy. Don't get technical with me, Mr. Nice Guy. The thing that's funny is that I feel like this is the guy that is basically the reason why Reddit thread r/nice guys exists. Because he's the one that's like, I'm the neighbor looking after Miss Rio over here.
Right.
And there's a panty thief over here. 100% chance this guy is probably the panty thief. Or at the very least wishes he was the panty thief.
Yeah.
And then when he sees the panties, he has this like just drooling, just of like, I'm gonna get it. And then it's so funny how quickly I wanted this guy to just get blown up, and I'm like, wait, but I'm rooting for the villain here. And
the reason why I think that is because here you have the villain, and he is having the worst time of his life, right? And he's just wanting a peaceful life, and then here this random person basically goes and accuses him of something completely irrelevant. He has nothing to do with this, right? But now, okay, I have to deal with this person somehow, but I don't want to I want to kill him. But the thing is, there's consequences when I do certain things. I want to maintain a low profile, but I'm kind of past that point now. And then he's like, you know what? There's a pair of panties there. I'll bet. Yep. Because Kira could have just moved a little bit closer and had Killer Queen, touch something else, like his coat or something like that, and exploded him. But he specifically touched the panties, right? Because he knew that the guy was going to do it.
Yeah.
He knew it. Like, there's something about that that's so, indignant almost, where he's just so frustrated with this guy that he does something that's specifically worse for himself because he's betting on that basically the person will end up doing the lesser thing, basically, right?
Right.
And it works.
Yeah, they find a way to detect the air bubble. Okay, let's skip back ahead here. So they end up getting out here, and they literally had the fastest stand draw in the West, or in Morio here. But Stray Cat ends up saving Killer Queen.
Right.
Which just like, oh my god, yes, exactly. But the fact that Okuyasu comes back
it's
the last
perfect,
second here.
Heroic entrance. Yeah.
Yes. And the idea that we had always been wondering, when would the hando, which is arguably the strongest hand we've ever seen potentially, outside of some of the time-stopping ones.
Oh, yeah.
Use its extremely busted ability to great effect. Yep. And here we go.
Yeah.
This is why this stand was created.
Right.
Well, this is why.
It's also one of the first times we get to see it actually do something that is more of what we would expect it to do all the time, which is completely destroy something. Because normally, because it's such a close range stand, it destroys the space in between things and causes things to get pulled in different directions, right? Yeah. Cool. Awesome, right? Mm-hmm. But it is a very rare thing that we've actually gotten to see Zahando wink something out of existence. Right? So then it goes over here. He just catches the air ball, which is hilarious. Because,
he doesn't touch it.
Well, he doesn't touch it, right?
The stand doesn't touch it either. The stand doesn't touch it. He's just moving it around.
Oh.
Yeah, he just has it here. He just has it here, and it's like a few inches from his hand, and it's just kind of following it around. And then...
Yeah, and then he just...
Yep.
And
then just all at once. And just gone. And I love... Kira's just like, Nani! Like...
Yeah.
The hell is this crap?
Where's the kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
And then we have this wholesome bit where it's like... Because this part dealt with the whole idea of life after death, right? We had...
Sure.
What was her name? Raimi? Yeah, I believe so.
Right.
Yeah, and then we have Keicho here, kind of in a spirit vision of sorts beyond death, just being like, you gotta choose where you're going for yourself, Okuyasu. You're the only one who can decide where you're gonna go. And it's like, oh, yeah, I don't want to be here. I want to go back to Morio.
Yep.
And he comes back to life.
And
now, the thing is that doesn't have to be as a result of, Crazy Diamond's healing necessarily. That could have been Crazy Diamond healed him, but he was enough on the brink, basically. He was enough on the brink that his spirit or what have you actually was the thing that brought him back to life. Like his body might have been fine or what have you.
Right. Or like or maybe this conversation happened before, the Crazy Diamond healed him, and that's what allowed him to hold on long enough for Crazy Diamond to heal him, and then eventually he just woke up.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious thing probably. But I'm saying that there's a possibility here that because this part dealt with so many crazy new potential world building things, that this is just another example of the world of spirits, the world of the supernatural, the soul even, or any of that stuff. Yep. It just adds to it. And then we get this really emotional bit where freaking Josuke doesn't know how to process his feelings, and he's like, hey, you're really pushing it, dreaming at a time like this, bro. Yeah. Like, why you gotta be like that?
Yeah. Just being a total tsundere. And the father's like, shut the hell up. You should have woken up sooner if you weren't really dead, damn it. Yeah, with the big old tears and everything. Yeah.
And then Okuyasu just casually whisks Stray Cat out of disintegrating the bullet and pulling it out there, and then he's just kind of holding it in his hand like, and this little thing's like
it makes me think of like one of those little Pez things that he's just got in his hand now. And what I love about this here is that so they're in a bad situation, even though Kira has been largely defeated, right? He's still dangerous.
He's still very dangerous.
And what's the thing that Okuyasu has always had a problem with? Judgment and applying his stand where he needs to.
Yeah.
Here, there's a thing that his stand can do to perfectly resolve the situation, and he just does it.
Yep.
He just does it. He doesn't really, without thinking about it or hesitating or needing to figure out what to do, he just
does it.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
That takes care of that.
I feel like there's this.
It's great.
There's this thing with Okuyasu when he's with people that he cares about, and he has their, he's thinking about them. His brain doesn't need to worry about the details too much. It's when he's trying to solve a problem that deals with him or something, he just kind of has this deer in headlights kind of issue. Because I think the last time we saw him in a very serious situation where he kind of just goofed, he was alone or he was separated from Josuke, and he was just like, what? what am I gonna do here? If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember which stand encounter.
Right, because there was the point where, because the big one I'm thinking of is when they were fighting whatever the stand user was that took out his brother.
Well, I'm talking about more recently. Yeah. That one is very early on in the show, but when they were, actually, that's a good point.
I don't know.
Where has Okuyasu been this whole time?
Well, I feel like it's it's one of the things where because his stand is so ridiculously powerful that he gets shunted to the side. Right, because either he's going to not do anything because he can't properly apply a stand or whatever, or it's just too good at what it does.
Yeah. Kira is coming undone. He's monologuing into the sky.
Yep.
Hayato drops the monologue of the century on him there, and this is the thing that's wonderful here is we get this overhead shot, which is just it's just so perfect at showcasing how this is not Kira's day right now, and that we have fire engines showing up here.
Yeah, there've been all these explosions and stuff.
The general public.
Yeah.
And we have our stand bro, Joe Bros, on the right there. Yep. And he's just standing right in the middle of the...
Wounded and bloodied.
In the middle of the scene here.
And late for work.
Yep. Yeah. All these things going wrong, and there's no way he can get out of this.
Yeah.
But if he's a cornered wild animal, what kind of stuff do you think he could do in 23 minutes? Or even less than that. Let's assume he lasts 15 minutes.
5 minutes.
Let's assume he lasts at most 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think that's about as much as he's going to do. But,
yeah, I'd say that's the max.
But what do you think he could do still in 15 minutes if he doesn't care about appearances
hostages.
as much? Hostages.
You know, there's
he could
civilians
pull
there.
He could pull the thing of like, they're attacking me. He could at the very least, I mean, because they can't see the stands, and now it looks like 6-on-1, right?
Sure.
He could pull so much here. Also, you know, the fighting, you know, notwithstanding, there's going to be those first couple of seconds where he gets to basically have first turn tempo of deciding what to do because everyone else has been doing stuff.
And it's not like he can't run away or things like that, which would be rather fitting with the whole chase you idea.
Mm-hmm.
But he won't be able to get away is the thing. So
yeah,
he doesn't he's wounded. You know,
his stand has nothing to do with mobility.
Yeah, and there are plenty of stands that could take him out. Like not
Echoes alone,
not just
is a good
Jotaro.
CC,
Yeah, like Echoes could
stop.
just lock him down. You know, which would be rather fitting because that was one of the other things that made his life suck early on.
And Josuke still has stuff on Kira that he can still use.
Yeah, the glass shards are still in there,
harassing him.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah, like if Josuke wanted to, he could just be like, Hayato, get more glass shards from in there. Okay.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the episode, and then Hayato gives the monologue of, any fate that would side with you, any chance that would come your way, there's nothing compared to the spirit of justice that's here right now.
Yes.
It's definitely here. There's no doubt about it. Compared to that spirit, you're nothing. So I want to bring up this as being a thematic thing, in that spirit has been in a literal sense and in a non-literal sense. There's been this feeling of Morio being this good place, this good place. Except we've got this one problem here, and it's this guy that's been in the past just quietly being basically this cancer, ruining the town's peace, and the spirit of the town, even the spirit of justice, of all this good stuff, has basically, like fate, moved things in a specific way to push that rotting cell up to the surface so that it can be snuffed out. And Kira is now basically, who's been, in his mind, lucky because he's the sole one in his whole little dynamic here trying to survive, and then actually has everything turning against him all at once at the same time, even though he still got super lucky at multiple points. I just love that it was his not son, really, that started the cascade of events that led to this place here. Yep. Even though Kira got lucky with multiple things going on that went his way, we have this situation come up, and he's a cornered animal. Right. And we've not had that experience ever in JoJo's. Like
the cornered animal?
The end boss being the one where basically everything just kind of comes up and basically just goes, you're nothing. Get out of here. Or, we're going to hunt you down and crush you. Like, Dio in part 1 was something kind of close to that, with basically the squad of Hemon warriors coming to assault the Dark Tower.
And I suppose... Right, and by the time that we got, by the time Dio was being defeated in part 3, it was really just Jotaro at that point.
Yeah, and that was more of a good guy, looks like they're defeated, but keeps pulling stuff out at the last second to stop him. And then bad guy keeps powering up and powering up.
I'm more talking about in the later parts of the fight, but yeah.
Right.
It wasn't really a group effort at that point. It's just Jotaro needing to,
to one-up him.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, we have truly like a brotherhood of random people, all from different, kind of setups, even though we do have the Joestar family in here. We've got Koichi, we've got Okuyasu, we've got Hayato in here.
Well, and Hayato, I think, is the most important part, because for all the style that JoJo's has, right? And it's fantastic, right? there's this idea that especially with Kira, he's such a not a normal villain, but I'm going to use that word for now because basically he's because serial killers exist, right? Mm-hmm. He's not a pillarman. He's not some ancient ascended vampire, whatever, right? He's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And even if, and the idea that the everyday person, even though Hayato is very special and his big brain is second to, almost none, it was still the actions of the small powerless person that brought about his downfall.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's really
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have anything much more to say on this episode, but it was great.
Yeah. So last episode of part 4 not tomorrow, but
next week.
Next week, y'all.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to wait a week, you want to see that next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. You can get involved with the community. There's a lot of good discussion going on there. You can also talk with Jacob there about his book that he wrote.
Yes, because this is definitely the first time you've heard about it. My sci-fi novel, Battle Lines, is still available for order on Amazon. The link is in the description below, so go check it out. Leave a review. Check out the other reviews on there, and
yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.